June 27th budget hearing at 5:04. We don't need to do introductions or anything like that, right? No. We have 3 councilors present, so it does constitute a quorum. Moving forward, we need to do some cleanup that was missed and some money that was spent between our first budget being approved and this budget, because we can the reason for the new budget committee meeting is to approve a tax rate or budget document because of an expenditure that we had that was not planned for. We cannot make up a 10% difference by amending our budget.
We need to approve the tax rate. And
we need to approve our tax rate, which is something else that just came up recently that we were not aware that we had to approve our tax rate every year. So with that, I will turn the meeting over to our budget officer.
Would you like me to go fund by fund, or did you note the changes? How would you like to go forward?
Is public comment for at all times, or just
we'll just do public comment, let them get their questions answered, and when we're through with that comment period.
I've looked through this, but it's my first, go around. So I reviewed it, but I don't really know what I exactly am. I don't know. I just don't see anything wrong with it.
So if you look in the first, where it says proposed by budget officer, we'll say the general fund. The changes that were noted, because this is a working calculator that you work in, it calculated the resources as 47,769, and that is actually incorrect. Even if you do it by hand, it is 57,769. So the changes you'll see in that first column, and so I propose to increase the resources on the next page to 57,769, which included 5,000 for city truck, and then there's also another line item to help pay for the city truck. This is not just this one source. So you can compare the two lines. So what was approved by the budget committee previously is in that second column. And then on the third page, there was nothing added.
Okay, I understand.
So when you propose by budget officer, even in the first draft, those are my recommendations, but the budget committee can actually change those around and make whatever appropriations you feel should be different. So going forward, the water fund did not change. The water reserve did not change. Minor out of order. What do you have next? The street fund?
Street fund.
Street fund did not change.
Then ambulance services.
Ambulance services did change because the cash on hand was not noted in the first meeting. So cash on hand is $4,936, which also transferred in from other funds, was the $5,000 from the community development fund that was already approved, which increased the resources down below. So service supplies, 1,500, billing and professional services, 650. Tina was charging us, I think, $40 per run for the ambulance. And so I increased the office supplies and the EMS building. And then also the $64 to the reserve was incorrect. 2,100 is a little more than what we paid last year. If you look over to the very left, adopted 22-23 was 1,500, and we are right about there. So, and then electric power and fuel for EMS 750 was increased, and then the rest was the same. So that would bring the total fund to $15,112. What was approved by the budget committee was $14,176.
So this is what will be approved, and then because of changes made, this is our new.
On the one before the transportation, that was different.
Transportation.
For the Oregon
State Street Fund.
2014-958.
And what we approved was 2,358,000.
Could you please restate that? I think
sure. What is proposed by the budget officer is for total requirements is 2,014,958, and what was budgeted for next year from 2023 to 2024 is 2,358,000.
And what? 000?
000. Yeah.
Okay.
I see under total requirements there was an increase.
Right.
Not allocated.
Not allocated.
Yeah.
Okay. Increase where? Oh, so I have approved by budget committee 2,358,000, and the proposed is 2,014,958.
Right. Check.
Okay. So I see.
And I see where it's a total requirements not allocated is 138,903, and on the other one is 124,303. Are
you saying that the proposed amount is incorrect, or you're just noting the change?
I'm just noting that there was a change.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
So it puts us at public safety.
Public safety, yeah. The ambulance reserve approved by the committee was 3,753. The actual cash on hand is 5,564. The transferred in from other funds is the 2,100 from the ambulance fund. That's at 10%. Capital outlay should have reserve for future expenditures 7,748 other than the 3,837. And that capital outlay on line 16 should be reserved for future expenditures, or it can be capital outlay.
Okay, that's how it's detailed out here.
No change in the fire department, but I will just point out there is no budget for them or anything.
That was going to be one of my questions. So I guess that answers it. There's no budget that was proposed.
I don't really know what I'm supposed.
Who proposes? Somebody from the fire department was supposed to give you a proposal.
Correct.
And you did not get these.
Correct. I got 4 things from the maintenance department, and ambulance said do what you did last year, and nothing from the fire department. So I don't know but there isn't any money, there isn't any money to spend, really. I mean, you're getting what property taxes we split up in, so I don't know if you would like to change.
For charges for service, it's blank because
they're not billing.
Where
line.
we had planned on,
Oh, sorry.
that's why we got set up with Jefferson County, was to do billing for outside, because fire department can bill for anything outside of the city limits.
So they go on a motor vehicle crash up on the Ochicos, you know, still in our jurisdiction, they can charge for that. But the claim is that there is no way to get phone numbers and addresses for people for billing, for most at least.
Isn't there a police report?
Well, in a conversation that I had with the fire chief and the ambulance director yesterday, the ambulance director offered to give information in order to do billing. He said that he's always, you know, had that information. And
so that being said, we need, because I'm on the active 911, so I know when anybody's coming up for anything. So we need to keep a closer eye on the runs that are being gone on and find out if the billing's being done and why isn't it, because we have a billing rate in place, I do believe.
I don't know.
I've checked with Jefferson County, but I was
No, but he did not get anything to Jefferson County to do any billing. Tina's response was, I don't set your rates. I don't know. She literally just does the billing. She doesn't say,
So
hey, fire chief, it looks like you went on a run. Do you want me to bill for that? She's not going to do that.
So we need to find out if he's giving information to Jefferson County.
He has not.
Okay.
Does that mean that we're gonna have to appoint somebody else on council to make sure that the billing is done for the city? So that
I believe, being that the administrator with her title, she would be the one to have the conversation with the fire chief for questions of where you at, you know, can I help you with something? What do you need? Let's get this rolling, because I know of probably 5-6 runs minimum that he could have billed for last year in the last budget year.
It's either that or you guys appoint somebody to that can babysit. I don't need to. I don't know what else.
Who wants that job? I'm serious. After how the folks were talking about having the Haven, who wants that job?
Yeah.
I'm going to tell them now. You're going to do what I tell you to do.
Being accused of being
You've been
criminals.
after them for some time for this, and you're totally being ignored. And so it just don't make sense.
So this means, so I'm sorry if this is a stupid question. So without any budget proposed or any sort of like money allocated anywhere for this, that means they don't have money to spend throughout the year for things they need?
That is what it means. So the practice has been just go get what you need and the city will figure it out. And so the perfect example is I already let him know you don't have a budget for this year. He said, oh, I know. And so, but yet with the fire truck leaking today, he took it to go fix it. So when I'm telling you, you don't have a budget and we just brought you out of the negative, you're incurring costs instead of saying, what can I do about this? Where can we maybe borrow, or could you please ask the council to take more reserve funds? Or there isn't anything, it's just go take care of the thing and the city will figure it out. So I don't know what it is.
But that would be an option to draw money out of their reserve fund to create a Band-Aid budget for them.
Yes.
He took the vehicle to get fixed.
I'm assuming because the car is there and the truck is gone.
Well, and the truck was at Dan's today, so.
Well, My suggestion would be to draw down the reserve, unfortunately. I mean, that's not a good practice because the reserve is there for an emergency.
So if the committee would like to do that, you would need to propose the change to expend the reserves or X amount of dollars from the reserve fund to the department.
And we'll have to do that after.
No, we would do it right now.
How do
We have
know
no
X
idea
amount
what
of
the bill's
dollars?
going to be.
Well, no, it's not just one bill, it's for the whole year.
I say, if it was me, I would suggest taking half of the reserve and putting into a budget for him, for the department, sorry, not for the individuals, for the department. At least they have some type of a working budget.
So,
And moving forward, because I was in the position prior to the administrator taking over that I requested to meet several times to work on a budget.
So
The clerk even offered to work on budget with the chief and there was just no response. So instead of trying to chase money from wherever, that's what I would suggest. And
so what I would, if you guys would like, $3,075.50 is half of the reserve. You could motion that change right now to put that in for supplies. So it would be $3,075.50 transferred in from other funds.
$3,075.50.
which is half of their reserve, right?
Which is half of their reserve from the reserve to the transferred in. And then that will bring the cash on hand to $3,075.50. You'll also need to do the same thing at the council meeting.
And we need to do that now.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I'll make a stab at it.
You're on, Ron.
Just before I do that, $3,075.50 was the amount you wanted transferred?
That's half.
Oh, okay, half of the reserve.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'd make a motion that we transfer half of the fire services reserve fund, which is $3,075.50, to create an emergency budget fund for the fire department.
Thank you. Patty,
I will second that.
motion made by Ron, second by Patty to approve transfer of $3,075.50 from reserve to a budget line. Kathy.
I would suggest we worden it a little bit, the motion, to make it for supplies and vehicle repairs. You'll be more, a little bit more specific with it, but
I think the emergency budget covers it.
For the budget, it falls on everything under your, whatever you falls on your budget. Because if we limit it to like what you're saying, then if they need.
Tires,
that's repairs.
Well,
but
no,
depends on who's looking at it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
because a repair would be a flat.
Yeah.
Replacement would be new tires. So
Okay.
I think the way the motion is, it leaves it more open for the ability to
Do
access.
more.
But we will watch
Flexible.
them. We will watch them like hawks.
And
You know?
we need to encourage billing.
and also, I don't know how experienced much in this, but I have seen other fire departments hold fundraisers. Is that an out of the?
I believe I've offered, I believe Ron
Glenn-
has offered.
Glenn said that's a heck of an idea. You used to do it in the past, but apparently
There's just
somebody from city council or town or somebody has to get the ball rolling.
I've offered my services of smoked meat, prime rib
Yeah.
for a prime rib dinner or something like that.
Yeah.
A spaghetti feed.
yeah.
low money put in, your return
Pancake
is.
breakfast.
We did one fundraiser for EMS combined at Tiger Town, put a boot out.
Yeah,
You know, Portland does it.
exactly.
Yeah.
All the time.
$10 is $10.
Right.
$100 is $100.
It's more dollars
I
than we
think-
have right now.
I think he does need the nudging of, you know, hey, how about we do a spaghetti feed for Halloween?
Mhm. Yeah.
Proceeds will go to your department.
Mhm.
I mean, we've had spaghetti feeds in the past and they're great, you know, people pay more than,
Mhm.
and for
For fundraisers,
cause-
they'll pay even more.
a cause, as in our fire department, I do believe people would pay a little bit more. I think,
Yeah, me and Glenn talked about, and I've been working on it, but not about getting a dunking booth. I don't know where we got one several years ago.
talk about insurance. You want to talk about insurance, that's why we cannot get it anymore.
Yeah,
It was at Clear Pine, I think, in Prineville, because I went and picked it up.
yeah.
The insurance is, I don't
You
even
don't,
think,
yeah, you won't raise any money.
I don't think CIS would insure it at this point. I don't even know if it's an option.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but we're supposed to start our hearing at 5:30 and we're 2 minutes till.
Okay.
Also, just real quick, I did have a conversation with him about how the budget was structured in 21-22. There was a $1,500 line item and then everything else was just sort of paid out of the general fund. And that's what they're used to, is just this kind of catch all of the general fund and things just kind of being all paid. And when we're itemizing things, it's like we're able to track that, but you have a much, well, you did last year a $14,000 budget rather than $1,500 line item, and then just kind of whatever else comes along. And so you have a much bigger budget, but it comes with more accountability. So I did have that conversation with him.
So this is like just bridging this minor gap to where it
Big picture.
cleans a little bit up, but again, I don't want to use the term babysitting, but
Mhm.
he needs to be accountable for his department.
We have a motion on the table.
Any further discussion on the motion to move $3,075.50 from reserve to budget line?
Nope.
No more discussion. Patty, how do you vote?
Aye.
Kaylee?
Hi.
Ron?
Aye.
Motion passed, 3 ayes. Thank you, council.
So that will bring the reserve fund to $3,075.50. I propose to split that amongst the requirements for maintenance, training, repairs, and supplies. If that is okay. Tourism did change because of the brochures and things like that. So the actual cash on hand is 7,115 versus the 18,236 that was approved. You couldn't have changed that by 10% and still been anywhere close, which is a large part of why we're having this meeting. So that significantly changed your reserve for future expenditures on line 23 and the unallocated, which is line 24, and the office supplies on line 25. I did lessen by 1,000 the professional fees and the publicity to 8,500 instead of 10,500. The legal fees to 760, and I kept the administrative at the 2,500. And then the park and recreation was significantly changed due to the purchase of the park play structure. What was approved from the community development was 75,000. I proposed to make that 45,000. The RV tent camping charges up to 7,000, donations up 1,000. We've got the new signs down at the restroom, so I'm hoping that that will increase our donation rate. So that would bring your total resources to 94,000 rather than 121,900. The allocated will stay the same at 51,900. The unallocated park development, 42,100. for a total requirement of 94,000 rather than 121,900.
And again, we couldn't do 10%.
You would not be able to do 10% change. The community development fund obviously has changed because of the playground structure. So cash available is 104,581 opposed to the 134,000 allocated. FTE is going to be the same, but the what was approved for the budget committee for the clerk was 0. I proposed 1,800, keeping maintenance still at 3,000, maintenance to at 1,500, and moving down the city truck here is another 5,000 rather than 15,000. The facade grant to 500, I propose that we do close that opportunity. We have had one participant put in an application, and then the amount for the community hall counters, which was approved in this year, but it will need to carry over into next year, and it's looking like things are going to cost maybe a bit more. And then lessened the council staff training to 2,000 and kept the travel related training at 2,000, and community hall structural the same, to have allocated at 37,200 rather than 47,200. The not allocated supplies unallocated 7,381, and then 5,000 community hall structures the same. The park department interfund transferred to 45, the 5,000 to the general fund for the website, and then total interfund transfer 50,000 with an operating contingency for 3,200. The operating contingency, in case it's still a bit new, goes into the 24-25 cycle. It does not get used in the 24 cycle, 23-24 cycle. Not allocated 67,381 with a total requirement of 104,581. The kiosk stays the same. Public safety, American Rescue Plan stays the same. I don't believe the FTE was on here for tourism, but I'll just go over it really quick. The full-time equivalent for the park is 0.25. For the general fund is 1. For the street is 0.5. For the water is 1. Community development 0.13, and tourism 0.05. Did I get them all?
Yep.
Okay, so yep. The just so that if you didn't notice at the top, that for FTE it says 3.0. So that's your full-time equivalent. That is what requires 3 full-time people to administer these services in the city.
So we're open for public comment, or do we get done?
If you would like to comment now before we approve the resolutions.
I just like to make a general comment that the stuff you guys are going over was not allowed for public. What is your topic? Lack of public access.
Thank you.
Okay, so
The fact that all these changes you were talking about in the sheet, the pages that you sent to council, and there's none here on the back table. None of the stuff you guys just discussed, the changes and all this stuff, that was not presented to the or offered to the public for viewing.
So on the notice, it says that that you can discuss the budget for fiscal year 23 to 24 at the Mitchell Community Hall, 108 South Nelson, 6/27, 4:30 p.m. The purpose of the meeting is to receive the budget message, to receive comment from the public on the budget, This is a public meeting where deliberation on budget committee will take place. Any person may appear at the meeting to discuss the proposed programs with the budget committee. A copy of the budget document may be inspected or obtained on or after 6/28/2023 at 202 Southeast High Street between the hours of 9 a.m. and 3 p.m.
I'm just making, my comment is the fact that you guys are discussing this and you're approving it, and we don't have, public doesn't have access to it until after the fact.
I think the clerk just addressed that you do though. There is notice made. It tells you where to get it and when to get it.
I'm 6/27 and 6/28.
Right.
What's today's date?
Kathy, I don't know what else to say except
It should have been
the
here at
notice is
meeting.
made.
The meeting was publicly noticed. and
We have to legally
we
notify you.
We only have one person in the public, so
And you were here to deliberate.
I want to see the stuff you were discussing, the changes here, changes here. You're discussing these changes, and I don't have a copy of what you're discussing.
That's because you didn't go get one, Kathy.
No one,
It says on the 28th between 9 a.m. and 3
that's
p.m.
tomorrow.
Exactly. So
It should be here so it can be viewed by the public during the meeting. So I was discussing something, I'm taking 20 million notes because it should be available to the public as you discuss it. And I'm sorry.
You were here for all the discussion, Kathy. We literally, you witnessed
I would
us.
like to see what you were discussing.
Okay.
Not after the fact. We
Okay.
should have had copies here to pick up of the emails that the city sent you, the council, and only the council, I think, because I never get anything. I'm just saying it should have been here available for me to see, not after the fact.
So you can pick up a copy tomorrow. And
I'm fine. I guess lack of public.
It was notified. You can't say that when it's blatantly wrong.
It's not wrong.
Okay, we're not gonna argue back and forth. You made your statement. Your statement's recorded. It's been heard.
Yep.
Moving forward. Thank you.
so we need to move on to approving the calendar.
Any other hand up?
Oh, sorry.
Oh, to approve the calendar?
Yes.
Okay. I will make a motion to approve the 2023-2024 budget calendar for the city of Mitchell.
I'll second it.
Motion made by Patty, seconded by Ron. Open for discussion. Seeing no discussion, Patty, how do you vote?
Aye.
Kaylee?
Aye.
Ron?
Aye.
Thank you. Now we need to adopt
So this paper here,
yeah, everybody was given the paper of what we need to accomplish at our budget hearing, the budget committee before entering into our budget hearing. So some of these things are new items that we did not know at our prior committee meeting. Patty?
I move to approve the fiscal year 2023-2024 permanent tax rate of 2.5422% for 1,000 of assessed value.
Can we just knock them all out at one time, right?
I would do them individually.
Okay. Motion.
I'll second it.
Motion made by Ron, seconded by Patty to approve the permanent tax rate.
Actually, she made the
Patty
motion.
made the motion, I'm seconding the motion to approve the permanent tax rate of 2.5422%. Open for discussion. No discussion. Patty, how do you vote?
Aye.
Katie?
Aye.
Ron?
Aye.
Thank you. Madam Clerk?
I absolutely apologize. I would ask you to reconsider. It is on the resolution. This is the correct amount. It's 2.5433.
So we need
Which one?
You would have to approve the withdrawal and then read 2.543.
So it's 2.2.
so we need to send that motion and make a new one.
You need to approve the withdrawal. Everybody vote on the withdrawal.
Withdrawal of the motion, the
Yeah.
previous motion. Okay.
I move to withdraw the previous motion.
Thank you.
I
Katie,
I second that motion.
motion made by Patty, second by Kaylee, open for discussion. No discussion. Patty, how do you vote?
Aye.
Kaylee?
Aye.
Ron?
Aye.
Thank you. So moving forward,
2.5433.
Patty,
I move to approve the fiscal year 2023-24 permanent tax rate of 2.5433 per $1,000 of assessed value for the city of Mitchell.
thank you.
Isn't that 2.5422?
No, that's the correction that we just.
2.5433.
I second the motion.
Motion made by Patty, second by Ron to approve the rate of 2.5433% per thousand. Open for discussion. No discussion. Patty,
Aye.
Kaylee,
Aye.
Ron,
Aye.
thank you. Moving to our next item. Patty,
I move to approve the fiscal year 2023-24 budget document in the amount of $2,958,563.
thank you. Kaylee,
I'll move to approve, or I'll move to motion that. It's wow, I just had a stroke. To second that motion.
thank you. Motion made by Patty, second by Kaylee to approve budget 23-24 in the amount of $2,958,000 and $2,958,563. Open for discussion. No discussion. Patty, how do you vote?
Aye.
Kaylee?
Aye.
Ron?
Aye.
Thank you. Next. Ron?
I move to approve resolution 23-08, a resolution adopting the budget document, making appropriations, imposing the tax, categorizing the tax and the permanent tax rate of 2.5433 per $100 of assessed value.
That should be
1,000.
1,000, yeah.
Oh, silly zero.
Thank you. Patty?
I'd like to second that, please.
Motion made by Ron, seconded by Patty to approve resolution 23-08. Open for discussion. No discussion. Patty?
Aye.
Kaylee?
Aye.
Ron?
Aye.
Thank you. Moving forward. Katie?
I move to approve resolution 2309, a resolution appropriating water reserve funds to water fund.
Thank you. Ron, you had your beater.
I second the motion.
Motion made by Katie, seconded by Ron to approve resolution 23-09. Open for discussion. No discussion. Patty?
Aye.
Kaylee?
Aye.
Ron?
Aye.
Thank you. Next on the list. Patty?
I move to approve resolution 23-11, a resolution closing the American Rescue Act Fund.
Thank you. Katie?
I second that motion.
Patty made the motion and Katie seconded the motion to approve resolution 23-11. For discussion. Ron?
I'm unaware of what the American Rescue Act Fund is.
With COVID money.
Oh,
And since there's no more COVID money, there's no reason to keep it open.
okey doke, makes sense to me.
Until the next round.
Yeah.
No further discussion. Patty?
Aye.
Kaylee?
Aye.
Ron?
Aye.
Thank you. Ron?
Get this last one here. I move to approve resolution 2312, a resolution declaring the city's election to receive state revenues.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, do we? Patty?
I'll second that.
Yes. No, you can discuss how these things will be spent. So as I am just understanding that half of the revenue sharing 911 revenues, the marijuana tax we haven't received since September of 21, and the gas tax we're not receiving. So I talked to League of Oregon Cities who does that, and they are going to find out what has happened and help get that sorted out. And I think that there is a certification that either got missed, we didn't get, whichever, but we will take care of that so we can start getting those funds again. As far as spending them, I don't know if anybody has anything to add.
Won't that be, would that not be funding that would just go into the general fund? Or do we have to, as I was looking over those things, it didn't really have anything specific that it stated that had to be, other than the 911 stuff. The 911 says that it has to be spent on 911 implementation only.
And it's kind of the same with the highway apportionment. Those things can be spent on the maintenance of your city streets.
Correct.
So
that'd be wonderful. I didn't know that there'd ever been funding for the city streets.
There has been for years. It's just
we just had never.
So that goes into part of your maintenance of the city streets. That can also work towards your maintenance, repairs and supplies, right. Materials and services. Yeah, for the highway apportionment. Let's see, I think the gas tax, I left it in there because obviously you have to have that history of what was adopted was 10,000 and what was adopted the previous year was 8680. Again, I think that goes towards the general workings of the street fund as well as the supplies for street fund.
Does that not also have the ability to go ahead and help pay the maintenance position as well? So great. So we just need to make sure that we declare that's where those monies are going to be allocated to, correct?
Yeah, and the liquor, the OLCC revenue,
that I thought stated that it just needed to go right into the general fund. It doesn't, there's no specific place that it needs to be allocated.
Okay.
There were only a couple of them that I saw that did, and that was the highway funding and the 911 funding.
Okay.
Yeah, use the revenue unrestricted for the liquor.
Mm-hmm.
So does that cover our discussion of how we're going to spend the money?
I believe so.
Okay. So the motion's on the table to approve resolution 23-12. No further discussion. Patty, how do you vote?
Aye.
Kaylee?
Aye.
Ron?
Aye.
Thank you. I do, oh, sorry. And budget officer here.
Does anybody have anything else to add? Adjourn. Motion.
Patty?
I make a motion to adjourn our meeting.
Budget committee meeting.
Budget committee meeting for June 27th, 2023.
At what time?
5:48.
5:48.
Kaylee?
I second that motion.
Saying that council can have a vote. Patty?
Aye.
Aye.
Kaylee?
Oscar.
Ron?
Aye.
Thank you. We are no longer in our budget committee meeting.